In 1970, English rustic rockers Cochise released their first of 3 albums, the self-titled on United Artists, and from it, the album-closing epic Painted Lady. Like the briskness of the acoustic guitar, kind of like rough, gruff, and that bass that's starting to slide down amid it. Okay, and the riffage is being countered by, or it's being punctuated by a bit of twang there, and I think what we have there is the main acoustic riff is being played by Mick Grabham, and the slide is being played, the twang is being played by B.J. Cole, who would subsequently become a very ubiquitous session musician in the UK, appearing on lots of rustic rock albums and on the UK music scene.
Shouting wisdoms from the treetops. Won't you tell me what's your name? You stay deep within your canvas, never coming past your brain.
Okay, I love the raw, kind of like acidic tone of the vocals. I believe they're by Stewart Brown, and he had been in bluesology with Reginald Dwight, Elton Dean, and Long John Baldry during the mid-1960s. And his voice here reminds me of the guy in Burning Red Ivanhoe. Strange, of all things. Yeah, they both got that really... much later, the guy who was singing on that Womega album. Yeah.
Your eyes see my weakness and know how I like them too. Your ears always open to hear what I'm going through.
I should have said, and I've done videos on both those bands, Burning Red Ivanhoe and Womega. Like, last fall when I was really concentrating quite heavily on like the Danish and Benelux scenes. Yeah, go check those out, and you can make the comparison yourself.
Painted lady, let me talk to you. Let me tell you what I'm gonna do.
Okay, yeah, this band is combining a few different styles in a rather unique way. Rustic rock was taking off in the UK around the same time that bluesy hard rock was taking off, and you had some bands that were influenced by kind of like the Byrds, and filtering that through the post-Mayo-esque school of blues rock, and you had other bands that were taking the more gruffer route, like that wouldn't have touched the country element so much, but were inspired by like Hendrix and Cream. This band kind of in the middle there, say between the likes of say America, and the Sutherland Brothers and Quiver on one hand, Home, Help Yourself, those bands. And on the other side, bands like Trapeze, Free, Savoy Brown. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I've described this band before as trapeze with twang.
Painted lady, let me talk to you. Let me tell you what I'm gonna do.
And this band's compositional style is a little bit more abrupt and angular than most rustic rockers. Yeah. Bit of a menace there. Okay, scratch all that. Let's throw the rustic analogies aside for now. Yeah, I forgot about this section. It's been a few years since I've listened to this, and now we're having quite a bit of counterpoint between, well, Rick Willis's bass, Rick Willis, future foreigner guy, B.J. Cole, and Mick Grabham. Yeah. Oh, and Stewart Brown also is credited with guitar on this. So we've got like three. Well, it only makes sense. I swear I was hearing like about 4 stringed instruments chiming in there. Yeah, I'm hearing the bum 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 of Rick Willis. I'm hearing. No 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 no. In my right speaker. And then in my left speaker, I'm hearing another guitar that's doing like thirds on the notes that are coming out, like no 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 like that. So I'm basically hearing three. I'm hearing 2 guitars right here and a bass, all playing kind of like different different notes on this like scale. And that's going to be B.J. Cole right there giving us that slide. That section we were just in was almost kind of Eastern influenced, yeah. A bit of that kind of like raga influence brought into like rock. I love that tone right there, that searing tone, I guess, of B.J. Cole, and we got that little sizzle coming out of the left speaker, no, the right speaker. And I'm definitely hearing 3 guitars right now plus bass, yeah, because we've also got that kind of acid rock, kind of like wailing tone that's coming in here that's competing with that slide. Oh, there's some chordal bits coming out of the speaker, although they're so faint, I don't know if they're picking up. That is a beautiful mixture, that slide, kind of searing notes, like held notes, and then that kind of more wailing, like, oh, like Cream era Clapton type of, you know. Yeah, there are definitely 3 guitars once again. Yeah. First there was 1 against the bass. Then there was 2. You know, like a second guitarist doing thirds over the root notes of the first guitars, and then like another guitarist comes out on this speaker doing like fifths. Yeah, of that same figure. let me talk to you, let me tell you what I'm gonna do.
Painted lady, let me talk to you. Let me tell you what I'm gonna do.
I love that. We had that like acoustic guitar coming out and taking over that vocal theme. And then the bass sort of doubling up on it. And then after like a couple of repetitions, they modulate it. Yeah, like
Someday soon I'll be a hero. Weeping lady, safe from doom. Painted lady, my Madonna. You drive the devil from his tomb.
I love the chordal center of the verses. We don't hear this is only the second time the verse came up like in 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes. And dum. Yeah, D flat minor, B is like the progression there. A strange place to kind of end up for the verses, considering that the chorus is like D minor. Yeah, yeah, it's kind of strange to go from D minor to D flat minor. You usually will go from like D minor to C, or you'll go from D major to D flat minor. But
Your eyes see my weakness and know how I like them too. Your ears always open to hear what I'm going through. Painted lady, let me talk to you. Let me tell you what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Painted lady, let me talk to you. Let me tell you what I'm gonna do.
yeah, got a lot of like rage in his voice, a lot of like fire. I like it. It's really raw. They have found so many ways not only to like reinvent that vocal theme, but different themes on which to do this kind of like playing like notes on top of each other. Okay, now we have like an electric guitar doing that vocal theme. We've got like it sounds like an acoustic 12-string doubling up underneath it, and we've also got BJ Cole giving us that slide, that silvery slide. Wow, proof that it's not overkill to have 3 guitarists in a rock band. Yeah, you can do really creative things with it. As a matter of fact, their arrangement is kind of like, for a time, Fleetwood Mac had that going during then Play On era. I mean, and Rod Stewart later commented on that, saying that he was thinking of having 3 guitarists in his band. I think he had 2 when he made the statement, but he liked the idea of having a rhythm player, a lead player, and a slide player. Yeah. But I guess you have to really be a hardcore rock and roller to really be having that kind of a vision. And I make that statement knowing that Rod was entering his kind of lounge lizard phase and just about a year away from going disco. Well, for one song, that is. But I mean, the irony of him making that statement just a year in advance of "Do You Think I'm Sexy?" Yeah, but that just stands out in my mind as one of the boldest statements of kind of the the tri-guitar rock vision. Yeah. Yeah, this band was like was finding ways. There are many ways in which three guitarists on stage could just sound cluttered, could sound like overkill, could sound. But this band was careful to just mostly play notes and to double up on one another, each playing like a different tone, a different type of guitar, adding texture. Yeah, this band. Yeah, it seems to be around 1970 where guitar bands were really careful about not falling back on rock cliches that had been established at that point. Not just strumming along chords very often, like being really careful to put as many notes as possible. I was hearing that last night on the Blonde on Blonde, those two songs that I did by them, yeah. Yeah, making sure each interjection, each layer had its own unique sound, tone, texture to bring to the table. And doing a lot of fingering, not just strumming along bar chords or basic chords much, yeah. Yeah, that was Cochise with Painted Lady from their 1970 self-titled album Cochise. Their first of three, I guess the first of two to feature the vocals of Stewart Brown. Yeah, and a lot of these guys went on to other things. Mick Grabham left, I think maybe after the second, and did a solo album and then joined Procol Harum. And Rick Willis, was he always in Foreigner right from the beginning, or oh, he was on Let's Stick Together by looks like he joined Foreigner for Head Games. Oh, and he was also on some Kevin Ayers albums. Yeah. So oh, he was on the Sutherland Brothers Down to Earth album. How appropriate. Yeah. Yeah, one of the best rustic rock albums from the UK. Oh, and he was in Frampton's Camel for a time. Yeah. Yeah, so all these people had great careers, and B.J. Cole had been on numerous recordings, too many to mention here, yeah. Into the 80s as well, yeah. For more rubies and sapphires from the Cochise catalog, see the directory of albums by English C artists linked in the description below. Like and subscribe, follow me on social media, share the video, and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about the song we just heard. The layers, the composition, the chordal changes, the sequences, the different, harmonic interactions between various different guitars, and just the originality of it all and the intensity of it all, as well as the lyrics, if you have any observations about those. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most ear-travel, signing off.